28 animals found dead in the backyard of a York County home in October. Now 2 people are charged. 1 is arrested in connection. What we know about the investigation.
Team coverage tonight on homelessness in Lancaster and York County. City and county leaders are taking steps to address the problem. We'll look at the newest homeless population count in Lancaster County. Plus,
Compassionate Clear Out. We'll tell you about this new initiative brought on by York City and what people directly affected by it are thinking.
Preventing crashes on Pennsylvania roadways. What a new study says about a drop in deadly crashes.
And later, violence at and near places of worship are rare but deadly. Our National Investigative Unit shows us what new data reveals.
WGAL News 8 at 5 starts now.
It was awful. I don't even know how they got away with it.
More than 24 animals found dead in the backyard of a York County modular home. Nearly 36 found alive in deplorable conditions. 2 people are now charged. Welcome to News 8 at 5, everyone. I'm Brian Roach.
and I'm Susan Shapiro. 23-year-old Chase Elizabeth Fisher and 32-year-old Pedro Vega Rivera are charged with cruelty to animals following the discovery of the animals last Halloween. News 8's AJ Sisson is live tonight in York. AJ, what's in the charging documents in this investigation that started 6 months ago?
Yeah, Brian, Susan, those court documents, those police documents reveal that Fisher and Vega Rivera lived at the same home. And what started last Halloween as a power line service call ended in police finding dozens of animals in Fairview Township on Meadowbrook Circuit in their backyard. And those animals either found dead or in need of rescue.
We were starting to hear a lot of chickens. A lot of chickens. We went over one day because chickens were in our yard.
Neighbors nearby say they could hear dogs howling in the early morning, even found dead chickens in the dumpster prior to the October discovery.
I didn't know who they were, and being here for so long, I was like, all right, it has to be these people because they're new. Walked over, and there was cages everywhere.
Samantha Lytle says Chase Elizabeth Fisher and Pedro Vega Rivera moved in 3 months before, adding they took her on a tour.
Goats, pigs. They had a mama pig that was pregnant, and she was sitting there trying to even sell us a pig for $50.
An electrician notified police when they saw all the animals while conducting maintenance on a power line. Fairview Township Police found separate animal cages for goats, chickens, and rabbits. Fisher agreed to allow police and animal shelters to rescue the animals. They found 28 animals dead, 33 alive, living with the dead animals or with a lack of food and water.
I am a little shocked that they did, but at the same time, how do you look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm okay with this?
32-year-old Vega Rivera and 23-year-old Fisher, both of Columbia, face multiple animal cruelty charges. Police arrested Vega Rivera in December in connection to the kidnapping of his 6-month-old daughter, who he left in the car when he ran from police. The organization who rescued the pigs in November, Short and Curly's Animal Rescue, sent us pictures of how the pigs are doing today. They tell us we're thankful that the Fairview Township Police did not turn a blind eye to the cruelty offenses that were committed and stepped up to help these animals. Court documents reveal that Fisher is out on bail. She has a preliminary hearing set for May 11th. As for Vega Rivera, he faces a slith of charges in connection to this animal cruelty case, as well as that kidnapping case as well, including assault, terroristic threats, and strangulation. In York, AJ Sisson, WGAL News 8.
The kidnapping charge against a Harrisburg school board member has been dropped. Instead, Jamie Johnson is now being charged with 1 count of interference with the custody of a child, according to her court docket. This comes after court documents say she broke into an apartment in South Middleton Township early yesterday morning. The day before, police said Johnson took the victim's 4-month-old child from the apartment to Harrisburg after she was told not to. She later brought the child back after a phone call. Johnson is still facing other charges, including burglary and trespassing.
New at 5, electricians were seen back at the Carriage House car wash today, working near the vacuum units where a woman died 2 weeks ago. A viewer we had interviewed sent us these photos. The York County coroner says Lopez Echeverria leaned against the vacuum April 15th and then collapsed. Her cause and manner of death are still pending. The fire department determined that the unit was unsafe and immediately disconnected the power. City police say they also learned there was an issue April 14th with a different unit on the same island at the car wash. Leaders in the city of York and in Lancaster County are taking action to address homelessness in their communities.
We have team coverage tonight with News 8's Tasmin Mahfouz looking at the new data about homelessness in Lancaster County. But News 8's Morrissey Walsh begins our coverage live in York, where city leaders are starting what they call a compassionate clear-out. Morrissey?
Brian, Susan, along the Cajoras Creek, there's a stretch of encampments where dozens of people live there. But come the beginning of June, the city says they'll need to move on. I spoke to one man who lives at those encampments, and he shared a little bit of his story as well as what might come next for the community along the creek.
Where else would we go? What would we do? What can we really say?
Casey Bowling tells me he has lived in the community by the Cajoras Creek on and off for years now. He says in the past couple of days, an outreach team has been by telling him about the compassionate clear out and the deadline for him to find a new place to live.
I understand that the city has certain ways that they would like to have, the environment and the community. However, we're not bad people.
The city says this initiative is about balancing public safety and treating people with dignity and respect while connecting them with the right resources. Bowling says the last few days have been a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
I'm getting really discouraged and somewhat depressed. I don't know what else to do because we'll probably go somewhere where they had put us out before, and then we'll stay there for a little while, and then they'll put us out of there, and then so it's getting a little confusing.
The city said they want everyone out and the encampments closed by June 2nd. Now, we also want to know a little bit more about those outreach efforts, so we talked to a community partner that we'll hear from coming up on News 8 at 6. Live in downtown York, I'm Morrissey Walsh, WGAL News 8.
The Lancaster County Homelessness Coalition just released the results of its day count from earlier this year. News 8's Tasmin Mahfouz joins us now with that data.
Yeah, Susan, so these are the results of its one-day count from January 22nd. It found that the number of people is at its highest number since 2009. The point-in-time count measured who and where people were on January 22nd. They found 665 people were homeless, with 575 sheltered in emergency or transitional housing, and 90 were unsheltered. Now, the Homeless Coalition says these numbers increased 22% just over the last year. And of the 665 people, 26% were children and adults under 25.
We need to be able to think compassionately while also holding accountability and helping them move forward. This means referring them to the right resources. It means also income, increasing the income, increasing the mainstream services that they need to be able to sustain an affordable home.
Yeah, so Deb, the director you just saw, also says organizations that help people experiencing homelessness, they're also in need of more funding. She says her organization is constantly applying for new funding so they can help meet people's needs.